Salute, salute, salute. Peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Salute. Salute to the people of the struggle. Peace and power, peace and power. What it do? What it do? Happy new energy. Yes, happy new energy. First live of the new energy. Yes, it is. It's the first live of the new energy, and we gotta get into the bullshit. We gotta get into it. Zero. Zero? Zero. Zero? Is it zero or is it zero? Let's be specific here. Is it zero or is it zero? Because you get 0 wins for what's going on out there in Houston, in the Lone Star State. What's going on, y'all? Yeah, we're going to get into this unfortunate case. You know, most people in that Houston, in the Texas region, right, in the South, know that Zero and Trae the Truth. Trae the Truth were not only label mates at one time, but also collaborators in 2 albums. And, you know, you might even consider that a friendship. I mean, most will consider that, especially because of the distance between those 2 projects. They worked together in 2003 and 5 years later in 2008. So, you know, they toured together, did shows together. Come on, man, they're from the same town, state, city. You dig what I'm saying? Come on now. What? Born Compton said they're cousins? Oh, that make it even worse. Don't tell me no shit like that. Somebody get back to me in the comments after the video and give me some proof that they cousins. Because then that shit make it even that much more nastier. But let me bring everybody up to speed. Trae the Truth has, officially been charged with assault and I guess numerous other crimes. You know, I hate to get into that. And that's not going to be the end all, or the direction of this build. You know, we always solution-based here, right? We always solution-based. So we're going to get into the meat. But he's been officially, charged and guess had to bail out on an incident that happened last summer in which Zero got plucked out, pounded out. All right? Now, at first it was denied by Trae the Truth that this man was jumped, assaulted, But when the video came out, we seen it. We seen what happened. Come on, man. We know how it is. And we also know what type of individuals run around Houston, run around H-Town. We've known that. Us in the hip-hop community, we know that when from the initial rip of hearing, of being aware, of knowing what Houston is, we knew it was a dangerous space. I mean, come on. We were introduced, many of us, in the community via the Ghetto Boys. So we know it's a lot of fisticuffs. We know it's a lot of pounding out. We know it's a lot of, man-to-man, knuckle action, gunplay, all that. This is something I was exposed to Ghetto Boys in 88. So this is not new. As far as somebody getting, their ass handed to them. We know what that is. We know what that is. And throughout, come on, we in 2023. So throughout the decades, man, we know that them brothers down there in Texas don't play no games, whether it's Houston, whether it's Dallas, whether it's San Antonio. Come on. We know they get busy. They get busy. But again, it's disheartening when we see someone who musically on wax has been, one of the most tough gangster, street solid certified dudes tell, snitch, rat. Now, I've been in so many different discussions online as far as MCs, greatest rappers, who's the realest. And at one point, I was in consistent debate with individuals who were saying that Zero was more official than Face. Brad. Face Mob. He has a fan base like that some of them placed him ahead of Scarface on their list. Because of the lyrics, because of the flow, because of the output. You have people in Texas that rock with him. That says Zero is better than Face. Because of, his flow, some harmonizing and all that in records. Yes, they do. Not my words. I've been in debates online. So now, here it is that you not living up to your lyrics. You snitching, ratting on a friend. And hold on. See, here we go. Zero is way more talented than the Scarface. You see what I'm saying? Here we go. So I'm not telling the untruth. You got people that, but now, you ratting? You not a representation of your lyrics? Again, I always tell people, separate the personality from the creativity. Because he speaks, I've heard, not his entire catalog, but I've heard many Zero songs, many of his features. He talks some gangster shit. And now you telling. Because we could see from the videotape what's really to tell. Man was assaulted, whipped out, not only by Trae, and we could see 3 or 4 more other individuals there. And somebody get back to me on that. Somebody please get back to me on, were those other individuals charged and told on? Was they arrested, right? And are they facing a trial behind it? Why only Trae? And we're going to get into this because Trae the Truth is a very, very different individual than most rappers when we are speaking of this hip-hop community, right? Trae the Truth has not been one who has been absent from criticism, have not been absent from the microscope where you're watching everything that he does and says, and really has never been in the whip. He had a struggle his entire career. Going back as early as 2009, when at his second annual event, a dumb, unnecessary shooting took place where young people were shot. And it was a mass shooting, you can call it, from 8 people from 14 years old to 21 years old. Those were the age ranges of the victims. You dig what I'm saying? 8 of them. So that's a mass shooting. And when being interviewed about that shooting on local radio, a woman, female radio host, blamed him because of his lyrics, right? Your lyrical content caused that. And he had to eat that. And because he retaliated, this is what they saying, retaliated, or because he responded to the interview in a certain way, they banned him, canceled him. That's early cancel culture. 2009 canceled him from Houston radio, right? But we know it's more to it than that, because he's a staunch political activist and someone who consistently gives in the community, right? So if they held Trae the Truth to his lyrical content back then in 2009, you mean in 2023 we not going to hold zero to the same lyrical content, one in which he's never snitched, that he's so street, that he's so thorough, he's a hustler, he'd come up from the gut? We're not going to hold him to the same standards, the same lyrical content? We're going to allow him to rat and snitch in a situation where clearly there is no snitching needed. Everything is on tape. Let the DA figure it out. But again, we're in a space now where people are being allowed to move the goalposts, because now the excuse is that he challenged Trae to a boxing match. So since that didn't go on, now we're going to rat. Now we're going to allow. I'm going to participate in the judicial system. This is what took place. So Trae is supposed to be held accountable for his lyrics, but not zero. You see how funny shit get over the years when others are placed into the culture? All right. Let's just talk about Trae's, for just a quick second, Trae's political activity. But first, we got to put him in the same context, because remember, Zero released his highly acclaimed album from jail. This dude know what it is to be street. He talked street, he participated in the street, and he was in jail. Released an album while he was in jail, so he know what snitching is. He know what ratting is. He knows exactly what it means to put someone behind bars. Ain't no excuse. None. So we're going to get rid of that right now. Call it what it is. Ratting is ratting. All right? So now, in the same fold, do y'all know that Trae the Truth was involved in the shooting where he was shot and 3 other people was also shot around him and they died right there on the scene? Right? One of them was his peoples. Hold on. He was shot, went to the hospital, and received limited medical care. Not so much as a triage, bandage, nothing. We had to pluck the damn shell out from his shoulder. I see no record up until this point of him ever telling. And the shooter was caught and sentenced to life in prison. I have not heard a peep. And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I have not heard a peep of Trae ever helping investigators, giving any statement, testifying in the court, none of that. So he held that. And that was in 2012. Held that. But politically, let us tell you who this individual is. There was a young girl named Lyric who was battling cancer. Trae was tirelessly going through collecting monies for her, collecting monies for the family, being so supportive that other artists had to take note of what he was doing for Dolo. And of course, you know, she transitioned, she lost her battle with cancer, but he was the individual that was spearheading and bringing notice to this young girl. He did that. Let us not forget, we also watched him 2017 during Hurricane Harvey in a damn boat. Rescuing people. Taking SUVs, going through the water, doing all for Dolo. Helping out in his community. Okay? Did that. And also in 2017, a grandma got carjacked. He went on a fundraising drive to get her not only a new whip, but resources and finances. This is what he did. All right? This is the type of shit that he does. Right? This is what he does. He also went out there and was arrested in the initial Breonna Taylor. He went to Louisville. The initial Breonna Taylor protest. This is the type of man he is. And he also, just like a lot of the professional ballers, refused the invitation to the White House because at the time he was, right, helping gathering resources for the victims of the Uvalde shooting in Texas. And helping getting resources for people, our people in the Buffalo area, right? In the Buffalo area, when we had that racist kill our peoples. Gathering resources, because remember, they shut the town down. They couldn't get food and water. Zero wasn't doing no shit like that. Trae the truth. Consistently doing these type of things. All right? So this is just what we are looking at as far as the measurement of these two individuals, right? This is what we're talking about. These two individuals who are more than acquaintances, right? Remember, they collaborated for years. For years. For years. And I'm trying to recall, because remember, in the course of that album, that 2008 album that they did together, Trae pounded out Mike Jones. Pounded out Mike Jones. So was Zero there when that happened? Pounded him out. At a 50 Cent joint. Pounded him out. So you may have more, right, of a bond, or supposedly, than we know. Again, we're viewing this from the outside. However, again, we're watching another rapper rat. We're watching another rapper rat. We're bringing this shit into the new energy, into 2023. All right? Now, we could bring into all the spooky shit because Zero have had music distributed by Empire Records. We already know how spooky that shit is. And we know that Trae at one time was signed to Grand Hustle for years and didn't get nothing dropped. I think he signed like in 2012 and they didn't drop nothing until 2015. So there's a lot of spookies, a lot of entities running around each individual. But as far as we've seen Trae stand up. And people want to critique the incident on film because of his activism, because of his give back to the community. You understand? But like I always say, consciousness, awareness, and your give back don't make you no punk. It doesn't make you, right, a type of individual that's going to stand down to bullshit. And we don't know the triggers. We don't know what was the spark for that. Others may. I don't. I'm not here to gossip. But I do know that when it comes to how black men view each other and how they handle situations, especially when it goes beyond the phase of talking, some fisticuffs have to happen sometime. Now, being jumped, I don't know. But I am watching the after effects. And like I always say, we don't control these institutions. We just don't. But we can be responsible for our response to it. And Zero, you don't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. It's all on tape. Let them figure it out. Let them put the pieces to to the puzzle together. What you telling for? What you telling for? What? To get back the watch? To get back the glasses? What are we talking about here? There ain't no shifting of the goalposts when it comes to that. My moderators, thank y'all for joining. This is the new energy. This is the new year. Make sure that green screen information is up. Make sure it's up. All right? Because there's absolutely no reason for an individual who claimed to be so official, so thorough. We're not talking about somebody who just came out. We're talking about an artist who has almost 2 decades in the game. Zero is not new to this. And he's not new to the street, and he's not new to the justice system. You dig what I'm saying? Not at all. Not at all. Very, very different when you start telling. Yeah, we ain't moving the goalposts on that. Not at all. Not at all. All right? So, that's what's moving, right, through the hip-hop community. That's what's moving. Again, they're going to keep these individuals high visibility when they're working with the systems, when they're working with the institutions, especially when they're utilizing it to take down someone who has consistently been in defiance of that institution. So Zero, you get the rant stamp for the day. And the solution, you really want to know the solution? Stop putting your business out in public. That's the solution, black men. Find ways to resolve the issue before it comes to that. And if it has to come to that, do it outside of public view. That was a simple fix, unless somebody was running and evading the difficult conversation. So now when you run into each other, it's already up. You dig? That's the solution, black men, because you're going to disagree. We're going to disagree. Definitely that. We have different themes, different intellectual levels. Men are going to disagree. We're not going to sit here and talk that shit. No kumbaya moment and all that bullshit. No. We've seen black men so sensitive that they've shot each other over a look, over a step of a sneaker, over the attention of a young lady. You dig what I'm saying? So all that bullshit that men supposed to, you're going to do it. Especially when there's a history between individuals and these misunderstandings need to be straightened out. Just do it outside of the view of the public. This way, none of us would have known that business. And definitely don't go into them halls of justice when you was already behind them damn bars. You know what it is. And the discrepancy is so deep that you're willing to put this man who you know save lives, change lives, continuously work for the community in jail? Nah, 0. You get a 0 for that. So again, thanks for my moderators. You know I'll be back. This is a new energy. This is 2023. We're going to have several builds. You dig what I'm saying? We getting ready to kick it off. We're going to do a woman's up later. So get your green screens ready and get your questions ready. Woman up. We coming in smoking. All right? So salute. Peace and power. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Believe in my belief in you. Salute.